recording. Hopefully what we intend to be a first in a mini-series while we essentially discuss each of the Arcane Journals, what we think of each of the list options, and then we've each made a list and we'll talk through why we've made the list we've made, talk about pros and cons, and just have a bit of a laugh around the subject to make them a bit different. So, good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, mate.
How are we all feeling this afternoon, evening? Oh my god.
It's been a long day, hasn't it?
It's been a long week.
Honestly.
But finally, I'm getting the urge to play Warhammer again after the event.
I think from yesterday's gathering, I got home at about, 20:12 this morning?
Yeah.
It was a long night.
It was, oh my god, we've got a massive Stan again.
Stan loves being big.
He's just too important. Warhammer Jesus. Just a massive deal.
And Marvel Jesus.
Yeah, so that was the first game we had last night since the event. And you and I have got one next week, haven't we, Stan? So
yeah. Yeah, we'll have to get that sorted.
Yeah. So, like we mentioned at the intro, we're going to do our little sort of, I don't want to call it a deep dive because it's not that, but like our take on the Arcane Journals. And we've decided to start with Tomb Kings because naturally they're the best of them.
Unsurprisingly. Because you were involved in the decision-making process and it's the book you cuddle up to every night.
It really is. You know I love me, the Bony Boys. So, with that in mind, we will sort of segue ourselves across a wee bit to the first of the two Tomb King options, which, oh good lord, just moving my screen a little bit, which is messing up, which is the Royal Host. So,
the lesser seen.
Sorry, the lesser seen.
The lesser seen.
I've only actually played. I've not used that list yet. To be fair,
have you seen anyone running a royal list?
Once I played against Nick, who was using it at Triple Crown.
Nice guy, Nick.
Nice guy, Nick. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he was running Royal Host, because he's not a monster.
Yeah.
It's got some one glaringly obvious flaw in it.
Yeah, no level 3 or 4 wizards.
That's the one.
Yeah, which is quite big.
Yeah. And
especially
like almost every other Arcane Journal list, it requires 33% core.
Yeah.
Arguably not that great a core selection.
I would disagree. I think it's got an amazing core selection.
Oh.
Is that because you've got Tomb Guard chariots in there?
No, it's because you've got the cohorts.
Yeah, to be fair, they are potentially very good. Yeah, which I suppose we'll come on to very shortly. We'll discuss one of your lists. And when one, we obviously mean Stan.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, so, yeah, characters, Tomb Kings or Tomb Princes, that's it. Royal Heralds and level, like, 1s or 2 Mortuary Priests, that's it. New unit, Tomb Guard chariots in core, up to 0 to 1, then the rest of them can appear in special. You're more limited on Scorpions. There's no minimums in special, and you also can't take a casket either.
No, and you can't take Kitty.
Or you can take the previously more seen kitties, the War Sphinxes, but you can't take the...
You can't take the good flying kitties.
The good flying kitty, no.
So...
What's your highlights from it, do you think? Or should we move on to the special rules for it?
I think the special rules, because then that'll explain the highlights.
Yeah, so we've got Grind Them Down, which is, whilst in the General's command range, friendly models on Chariot can re-roll impact hits, which definitely has its uses.
But it's unlike Chariots.
Yes, which
I think
AP is just harsh. Although there is an item you can take to start giving the General's unit AP.
Yeah, it's a pity Tomb Guard chariots aren't heavy, just to give them that little bit of a boost.
And then we've got, for 35 points, a Tomb King or a Tomb Priest can be a level 1 wizard, must know necromancy, and can wear armor, and he can be chosen as the Hierophant, which is solid.
And you missed the most important bit. He will be your Hierophant regardless if you've got a priest with a higher level.
You can ambush 1 unit of skeleton skirmishers per 1,000 points.
Yeah.
We've got a massive Stan again. Let's pop him back where he's supposed to be. Oh, he's gone tiny. Well, we're almost getting there, everyone. But we'll get there eventually.
Just Stan keeps misbehaving.
Then we've got 1 unit of horse archers per 1,000 points can get the chariot runner rule, which I think is quite decent. If you're going to,
it's quite decent.
Yeah.
If you're building into the chariots, but chariots are meh.
Yeah, and then you've got the last one, which is steadfast discipline, which is a unit with this rule can volley fire when it's moved or performing a stand and shoot charge reaction,
which is quite nice.
All about that.
And that's what Stan is all about.
If only there was a way you could make Strength 3 bow fire effective.
There's a limit. There's limits of how you can make them effective, isn't it? Like one of them is poison.
That's the boy.
Yeah.
And always being able to volley fire is quite a nice special rule, to be fair.
It's poison in the amount of way of numbers.
It is, as we've seen at the GT, against large target, mass poison fire does a trick.
Yeah.
Even normal, all that always volley firing is just massive.
Yeah. I mean, volley fire, it's rate of shots, isn't it? And that's what they're going for.
Yeah. So, on that, do you want to go into my list?
Shall we? So, do you want to take us through your characters first? Do you have it on your screen as well?
I've obviously gone Royal Host because I knew you two would go Mortuary Cult.
I don't know what you mean, Stan.
So, I've gone for the Tomb King. I've made him the level 1 wizard, and I've put him on a Bone Dragon with the Armor of Aegis and the Talisman of Protection.
What a build.
And he's now your Hierophant as well, so he's really got to be,
Yeah, he needs to be able to stick.
That build is, as we well know, because I've ran that very build pretty much, like he's a tank. He's an absolute tank.
Yeah. If his going down, you've lost the game already.
Yeah.
And it means you can be not as careful with your other casters.
Yes, that's very fair.
And it's another Arise. Then we'll go into my next 3 characters, all level 2 mortuary priests on elementalism.
Interesting.
One's got a power scroll and the Cursed Weaver wand, which is +1 to cast on hexes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite nice.
Another one with a power scroll and a lore familiar. And a third one with a power scroll. So simply going for, I'm trying to get Plague of Rust, and the power scrolls will give us that turn when I want it to go off, it'll go off.
That's not a bad combo, to be fair. Plague of Rust's amazing, especially when you look at the rest of your list, which we'll do shortly.
Yeah, it's that whole, I haven't got a level 3 or a level 4, so I'm just going to chuck a load of dice and eventually something will stick.
Yeah, and I suppose obviously your lore familiar guarantees at least one Plague of Rust.
Yeah, and then the rest.
And then you've also got the other spells in elementalism, which are very good as well.
Yep, and it's 3 more Arisers.
Yeah. Also things that you can continue to sacrifice to dragons if things go wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm not so much worried about the dragon. Then we've got the Royal Herald, just with the Armour of Destiny.
Yeah.
And he's BSB.
Bit of a BSB tank, doesn't go anywhere.
Yep. He's just to sit there and sit in a unit.
Mm-hmm.
Then into core, We've got 4 chariots because you have to take 1 unit.
I was already laughing at the next unit you've got in Cole.
Yeah.
What's the
So
minimum
4
size?
chariots.
Yeah.
Pardon, Andy?
Yeah. What the minimum unit size was for chariots? I was assuming it was 3.
3. 2 or 3. But I've gone full command and the Banner of the Desert Winds, which gives them Vanguard and reserve move.
That's good.
So they're going around. Then into my main block.
I mean, you call it a main block, it's just the block.
The block. So we've got infantry cohort with these are interchangeable numbers. You've got to take a minimum of 10 spear and shield guys. I've taken 20, and then 65 archers.
You've got a block of 85 dudes.
Yeah, which you can't change to 10 spearmen and 75 archers if you really want.
Wow.
You've got full command on it. You've got the war banner. So when the BSB's in there, they hit the magical static 7.
So you've got banner, war banner, close order.
3 ranks.
2 ranks is... Oh, yeah, 3.
They're
sorry.
all. Hmm?
Yeah. And I see you've also given them phalanx, which is such an amazing rule.
So the phalanx, so that the only way they're getting pushed back with a unit that size is by a wind blast. They're not going anywhere. And then on the champion, who for some reason gets a 30-point magic allowance, which is the exact amount for the amulet of the serpent to give the unit poison attacks.
It's like it was meant to be, Stan.
It's almost like the thought of it.
Well, I mean, that is quite a block.
Yep, probably about 15 wide, not going anywhere.
That's definitely not going anywhere.
Always volley firing, up to 4 arisers.
Poison.
Yep.
Oh, Jesus.
So it's a 500-point unit, but I challenge anyone to try and take that out.
That is something, to be fair.
It'll be hard to shift.
I don't disagree with that, to be honest.
Yeah. It's a lot to get through in one when you get there.
And then it's got a massive static combat res.
So static of 7, I mean, God, that's just the ultimate grind.
Yeah, plus you're going to be taking...
pretty much behind it.
Plus you're going to be taking 30 shots on the way in.
Yeah.
30 shots should be what? 6 poisons and 6 hits, give or take?
Yeah.
Throw enough dice, though, isn't it? That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
And then just to round it off, 2 scorpions to run interference.
Of course.
And a screaming skull with the skulls of the 4.
It's just a huge static block.
It's not a big or clever list.
No, it does what it says on the tin list.
That's what that is.
But it's going to be very much a point denial list. Because there's just under 500 points in the Lord, 500 points in the infantry block, a couple hundred points in each of the characters who can just hide. And then there's 2 scorpions and a catapult.
Yeah. There's not a lot of points in that. Like there's not a lot of points to take easily.
No, you're going to take the dragon or the big unit if you want any points.
Yeah.
It'd be quite a focus putting that big block in a bloody deployment zone, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you can manage it on most. 15 wide, and then you're getting 5 ranks.
Yeah, it's only about 5 inches deep. It's not that deep, really, I suppose.
Yeah.
So it can't be wind blasted off turn 1.
That's enormous, to be fair. I like that. I'd be very interested to see how that plays.
Yeah, it's the little things as well with the arrows of the asp. You can use the chariots and go, well, have hard cover. I'm still hitting on a 5.
Yeah. It's the beauty of Tomb King shooting.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a bit of a different list. I'm not sure it's what they meant with the Royal Host.
No, I think the intention was chariots and fast.
And Tomb Guard. The elite, not the peasantry archers.
Yeah.
Not all the archers.
Oh my god. Wild.
But I think it'd be worth a try. It's probably not going to be the most engaging list to play.
No, but it'd be interesting though.
I'd like to see how it performed, to be honest.
Have you got that many archers?
No.
To them, you've got enough for front ranks and then warriors behind to bulk it out.
How many archers do I actually have? If I include the ones that are still based for 8th.
You've got at least 30 odd for the old world.
Yeah, to be honest, if I rebase me 8th edition ones,
Well, you
I
could
have
use
archers, yeah.
Well, if you've not just got warriors, you can put behind the archers anyway to bulk it out.
Yeah.
Just like a friendly game kind of thing, not for like events.
Skeleton Horsemen are on 25 by 50 still, aren't they?
Yes.
So you could use them.
As unit fillers.
Yeah. Each horseman's 2 archers.
Yeah. I mean, I do. As it happens, I do have enough archers to put that list together as a test. To be honest, you wild bastard.
It's worth a run. I just thought it'd be something different, and with the big poison block being the meta at the minute.
To be honest,
it'd be an interesting game to play against. I think because it is a very different style list.
It's very different. It's very different. Well, with that, should we chat about the other special list that we've mentioned a few times for anyone who doesn't know, which is the Mortuary Cult?
Boring.
How dare you? How dare you, sir? This is the type of army that's loyal to Nagash.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about. The true King of Khemri.
It's just missing some guy on his chariot with giant manticore wings.
That guy's some boy, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
So
disappointed that he wasn't in it.
You were disappointed. I'm still thinking about putting in just multiple official complaints to GW about my lack of Arcane. He's just sitting there in his black tower, minding his business. Watching Setter get all uppity.
In all seriousness, I would love to see a reimagination of his stupid chariot with the wings.
To be honest, I would like to see more in line with the sort of the Nagash Legends book, where Arcane actually rides on a horse more.
Mm-hmm.
That would be quite interesting. A bit of a different take than just another reimagination of what he was on his chariot, so to speak. So
yeah,
the Mortuary Cult: minimum 1 High Priest or Mortuary Priest, maximum of 1 Tomb Prince, or the new unit, the new character, the Arc Necrotect, per 1,000 points, or Necrotext. That's your character options. Core, where it differs from regular Tomb Kings, really, is that you can have a unit of Tomb Swarm as core, a unit of Ushapti as core, and a new unit, Necros Serpents, as core, which essentially is the Snake Knights without the Knights, but you can't ambush them. Special, minimum 1 Tomb Scorpion per 1,000 points. Oh no, what a hardship.
That is such a tax.
Woe is me.
Take one. You have to take one of the best units in the book.
Gutted.
And also a bizarrely cheap unit for what it does.
Oh yeah, it's outrageous. Then your rest of the specials normal, with the exception of you've got Venerable Ushapti available, which are just better Ushapti slightly. And you can have up to one Necroth Colossus, or more accurately, a Necrosphinx in special as well. And then rare, you can have up to 33, and it's Necrosphinxes, up to 2 Screaming Skulls per 1,000 points, so technically you could have 4 in a 2,000 point list. And 1 casket per 1,000 points. So the other sort of special rules about them, that they must include at least the Hierophant, and it can be the general, even if it's got a lower leadership. So your Tomb Prince isn't your general, your Hierophant's your general. Not like you're taking a Tomb Prince anyway. When you cast a Rise, you get an extra wound back if you're within command range of another character with that rule. And you can siphon power from swarms or constructs to power up your spells. That's the real power of the most.
Up to +3, isn't it?
Up to +3.
Yeah, so generally your level 4 is on like a +8.
Yeah, which means if you sacrifice up to 3 boons and the casket, you're casting a +4 on top of your wizard level, which is just
massive.
It's
It's just obscene. But that term, when you want to cast spells, you just cast
stuff.
as much as you want. Yeah, you might kill half your unit of swarms, but
it's
you can
alright,
just bring them
have
back
it
next turn.
Next turn, exactly. And then the other interesting rule is Terrors Below, which adds on to Ambush and is a good way of sniping out infantry by making them take initiative tests when you bring them. It's a little bit of a convoluted rule, the way it interacts with Ambush, I think. But
Yeah.
It's still situationally very, very good.
And for sniping little lone characters, it's really good.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just pop up anywhere on the board, essentially, outside of 8.
No, you've got to be within 12 inches of the person bringing them on.
Yeah, 12 of the person bringing it on and no
Yeah,
closer
but
than
anywhere
6.
on the board, you don't have to
Yes.
be.
Yeah, isn't it outside of 6, but then you've got to be within 8 for the Terrors Below rule to take effect.
Yes.
Yeah, which getting it fitted into some lists when we've played is like, it doesn't quite fit there, it doesn't fit there. So it can be hard to get in, but it is a really good rule.
It's great on Scorpions who are on relatively small bases.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
On the snakes, on huge bases. Yeah.
It's not initiative test and take a wound, it's initiative test or die. So even on big initiative models, if you could still snipe them out if they've rolled a 6.
It forces people to be careful with the characters because you pop up and take 2 or 3 initiative tests, so you're out of there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think in one of our earlier practice games months ago, did I not snipe out your level 4 wizard, Andy, at one point?
Yeah, I'm sure I lost one of my Beastman Shamans.
Yeah.
Hence why they're now both on chariots.
Yeah.
Scott made me do it.
But it's just
when he was
regular
hiding
infantry and heavy infantry.
I think he was hiding in Ungor, the raid. I think you shot them off, and then we're like, oh, next turn, up popped the Scorpion.
But yeah, I think that's a good point as well, Stan. It's only light or heavy infantry, nothing bigger than that.
Yeah, you can't like snipe all the ogres off the board because that would be horrific because they're initiative.
Imagine killing a demon prince with it. That would be phenomenal.
It really would be funny.
Just a dragon disappears down the hole, 600 points.
For that really expensive 77-point model.
That would be phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, I personally think this is one of the best arcade lists in the game available.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of the best lists available, full stop.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. It gives you all the good stuff, and then you got to up your core, but some of the stuff you can put in the core isn't like it's a hindrance. It's still good units going in your core.
Well, it's better than a regular core.
Essentially, that 8% extra core is your swarms, which are powering your level 4s.
Yeah, swarms, a Shabti, Necros, one of them.
Yeah, they're meh. It's all about the
swarms.
But
with the Terror Below, they are a bit better. Without the Terrors Below, I don't think they're worth it. With the Terrors Below, that does make them a bit more worth it.
Yeah. But they're third on the list.
Yeah.
With that in mind, then naturally we went through Royal Horse and then went through Stan's list because that was his chosen list. It's now Mortrical time. So, do you want to talk us through your list to start with, Andy?
Yeah. So
that way.
I think the one Scott's got on the screen I have changed again because it was still slightly illegal. It was 1 point under in core.
Yeah, I did notice you were cheating again.
Well, the Tomb King, I'm used to watching you play, so I thought all Tomb King players cheated. I thought it was
You thought that's how it was done? I can see how that happened.
You cheeky little devil.
So, first character is the High Priest, level 4, on foot, Talisman of Protection, Law Familiar, Elementalism, just because I think it's a brilliant law and it covers everything.
I think, for an all-comers list, I think we've all said this a few times, I think Elementals was a genuinely very solid lore option.
Yeah. Then Mortuary Priest, so level 2, BSB, Ruby Ring, and the Scarab Brooch, which, for those that don't know, increases when you're summoning up from below, for like your Scorpions, goes from 12 inches to 18 inches, which massively increases the threat range.
Magic item.
Yeah. And then he's on Necromancy. Then the core, it's 2 into 16 skeletons, both with champions. One of them now has a musician for those extra points. Then the 3 tomb swarms, or power dice, as they're also known. There's 3. It's a lot of wounds to give up, and then you can rise them back, and it just means even the level 2. Sorry?
5 wounds apiece on the swarms.
Yes. Toughness and strength 2, but 5 wounds. They're just there for the power.
Yeah.
And then just in case anything gets behind, they can, with 360, because of skirmish, it's still a lot of poisoned attacks, which can take out little annoying skirmishers or other units.
15 poison attacks are actually pretty good to throw at things.
Yeah. Well, you throw them against my chariots a few times, and if they charge a chariot, nothing really happens, but they just sit there, and slowly the poison wins.
Yeah.
Just through weight of numbers. 2 Necro Serpents, who with the Terrors of Below will be coming up. I mean, we've played a lot of games. Any more than 2, and you just cannot fit them on the board.
Agreed.
Even with the 18-inch, you're struggling.
Yeah. 3 is just a nightmare to fit in.
Obviously, I ran 3 for a while, didn't I? And I think 2 is the actual magic number for them.
Yeah. For what you want them to do, and it still hits enough in combat when you try throwing them into certain things. They're never going to be like the ultimate grind.
Well,
I'm not a lover of them. I've made no secret of that.
Yeah, they're not expensive.
But they're your core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Core chaff.
Yeah, and there's still a movement 7, swift stride, poison attacks.
Got an impact hit.
Yeah, and they've got indomitable, I think, haven't they? So they don't die as much.
They're strength 5 as well. No AP, but they are strength 5. So
yeah,
they're not rubbish by any stretch. And with Terrors from Below, they're decent.
They're chaff.
Yeah.
They're chaff.
Yeah, they're chaff. Just a little bit. And then 6 are Shabti with Ritual Blades, just because, I mean, A, they're in core, and B, they're lovely models.
And it's a block and a half.
That is a big block.
Yeah, it's a lot of strength 7 attacks.
Yeah, I mean, I ran that block for a little while in my list, and it is hard to shift.
AP 2?
Ritual Blades, AP 3, I think they are.
Let's have a quick look.
2 AP 3.
Yeah, so strength 6, aren't they, I think?
Yeah.
They're 4 base. Yeah, so strength 4. So yeah, strength 6, AP 3, 2 hand strike last, but they're better
great weapons.
Yeah, and weapons go 4.
They're just permanently AP 3.
Yeah. They just do so much. So that's the Ashabti in core.
So is that,
and in
is that
special.
670 points in core then?
Yeah, 670. So in special, there is 1 Scorpion with Ambushes and Terrors Below, just because it's an amazing unit. It does a bit of everything. And the Terrors Below, again, is quite nice. As Stan said, it's a smaller base, so it does fit pretty much anywhere. And then the other 2 Scorpions now are both starting on the board.
Yeah.
There's only 1 ambush in.
I don't think it's a bad place starting them on the board. Like, it makes people.
Well, they're movement 7 with Swift Stride.
And they've got Vanguard.
Yeah, and then Killing Blow and Monster Slayer. They're a really good, solid unit.
Oh, they're brilliant. Like,
I mean, I've been quite lucky. The last 2 times we've played, yours have been appallingly bad. But our first lot of games, Scorpions were killing everything. I mean, I'm pretty sure they've killed Greater Demons, Soul Grinders.
Oh, for their points, they're just amazing.
Yeah. Again, it's like chaff that hits really hard. And then the last special, next special, sorry, is a Necrosphinx. You can't really go wrong. The big flying monster that's got the 1 strength 10 attack, everything else with killing blow. It's just a really solid unit.
It's good, and at D3 plus 2 stomps on the war kit on the Necrosphinx. It's solid as well. It's reliable.
Yeah. 5 up regen,
Only
indomitable
5
2.
is a bother sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then we say with a minimum of 3, maximum of 5 AP2 stomps, you generally do a lot of wounds with a kitty. They are just a solid unit. With fly 9
points as well, they're good.
Yeah, I was going to say, it won't go toe-to-toe with a dragon, but it's 100 points cheaper than a dragon.
No, exactly that. It's sub 200 points, flying behemoth.
Yeah. There's not many other flying behemoths that you can get that are a unit.
No.
And then 4 Shabti with great bows.
Love great bow Shabti.
Yeah. Because then great bows are just amazing. Strength 6, AP 1 with armor bane 2, multi wounds 2.
It's that multi wounds 2.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a few games and just getting 1 or 2 wounds through, and all of a sudden your big monsters are looking like anything's going to kill them.
Yeah, they're a threat. Like it's 30-inch range as well, I think.
And they're always hitting on 4s.
That's the big one as well.
Yeah. So you should get 2 hits on average against monsters. You're getting at least 1 or 2 wounds through every turn.
Well, what we also found when Stan and I played, these are good at taking out war machines as well.
Yeah.
Because you sneak 2 through and the war machine's dead.
Yeah, but effectively with your movement 5, you've got a 35-inch threat range. Mm-hmm. And it is just, you think in a minute with the amount of like peg knights flying around as well, it's a lot of 2s to wound, almost going straight through their armor to a degree, and then
that's what I mean. The value of multi wounds 2 at the minute with the Peg Knight Menace.
Yeah, I think it's Peg Knight. I mean, we've played a lot against it's chariot spam as well from certain armies. It gets rid of chariots really quickly.
And they're not for taking wounds off big monster, like big things as well.
Yeah, they do everything.
And they're not exactly easy to pick off.
No, even when you get in combat, they're still 3 attacks, strength 4, AP 1.
Toughness
with
4.
The Cope Edge Blades.
Like,
regen.
Yeah, 5 up, 6 up, indomitable, close order.
Just because you get them into, like, normally you get a unit like that, you get them into combat and you're like, oh, they're dealt with. But actually,
someone runs light cavalry into them, and then you can kiss goodbye to the light cav.
Yeah, it's not a ranged unit that you can take out easily.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I mean, I've thrown chariots at Scots before, and they'll go in, they'll do some wounds, but nothing really happens. The next turn, they just die.
Aye.
It is interesting. It's nice to see a list with a lot of Shanti, because normally Mr. Reed there, he'll run 1 unit of 4.
Well, recently I have been running the 4 great bow ones, but prior to that, I was running the 6 blockers of the combat ones. I do like them.
Yeah, it's hard to shift that many.
I think the thing is with Mortuary Cult, the reason you often only see 1 unit is because they come out as special, and there's a lot of choice in special.
Yeah.
Or whatever you put in special then takes out a rare.
Which is the hit.
We'll move on to your list, but I've got one question, because I don't think this unit will appear in your list either. And I'm just curious to get an opinion on it.
Well, before you do that, Stan, there is 2 in the rare as well. There's another flying kitty and a casket of souls.
Of course there is.
Just who doesn't love a casket of souls?
They're in there the minute you open up the Mortuary Cult list.
Auto include. And I think for me, it's not the offense now, it's the defensive buff it gives. It's far better than the offensive buff.
Protection's amazing.
It's all units within 18's -1 to hit and a regen, is it?
6 up ward.
6 up ward. So that -1 to hit.
3 caster, effectively.
Yeah.
Another +1.
Yeah, exactly that. It's just such a good.
It does so much.
Piece.
When they're only 135 points for what it gives you,
bargain.
There's no downside to that.
Between the casket and the swarms, I would love to see a list just spamming level 2s.
Yeah, I did think about it. So my list is slightly different, and this is not actually a version of the list I've used yet, but this is something I'm playing around with. So I've gone heavier in characters than I normally do, actually. So I've gone a level 4 on Necromancy on his trusty horse with the Talisman of Protection and a Dispel Scroll.
He's heavy horse.
Yes. Yes, indeed. The Spell Scroll could be dropped. It's just in there at the minute as quite a placeholder, but it's handy, I think, when you need to stop something coming at you.
Spell scroll or a power scroll?
Yeah, well, it was originally a power scroll. But it could be either. Is that if I was finalising it for a list? I've then got another level 4 on foot on elementalism with the Amulet of the Serpent. There's no surprise where he might be going. There's then a level 2 Mortuary Priest BSB on foot on illusion with the Law Familiar.
I like that.
He will be taking,
no surprise what 2 spells he's picking up.
Maybe a shock, but he will absolutely be taking Mirage and Column. And I appreciate they're big casts, but when you're in a Mortuary Cult list with the Casket buffing you and the ability to sacrifice Tomb Swarm, when you need to stop something charging, you can be doing it effectively as a level 6 wizard.
Yeah, because you'll be getting +3 from your batteries.
Yeah.
And your caskets, he's on a +6. So what? Mirage is 11?
Yeah, it's a big. I mean, it's 5 on the dice then.
5 on the dice.
Yeah.
It means even your level 4s in range, you're 2 ahead of them rather than 2 behind them. And I just think it's an option to help you control the board, which is what it's all about.
Like I say, I think level 2 spam's got some legs.
Yeah. If you could use Tomb Swarms for dispelling.
Oh my god.
Be level 2s all the way.
So then my core, a little bit different what I've actually used, but 4 Ushapti with Great Bows, 37 Skeleton Archers with War Bows, a Master of Arrows and a Standard Bearer. 3 Tomb Swarm, I nearly put them up to 4, but they're currently on 3. 8 Horse Archers, just a bit of interference, bit of cover for the general, and then 2 Necro Serpents with Terrors below.
So with the Tomb Swarms, I was toying with mine to make 2 units of 2, just to spread the back line to cover wherever I went.
Yeah. The only thing,
I think
the second unit though would have to come out as special.
Yeah.
It's just a bigger unit in core, not the way to go. So you can just.
Well, that was my thought. I've got
Depends
6.
where your characters are going.
But you can spread a big unit of 6 out.
Yeah.
I know it is a thought, like maybe it's to go bigger. My special then is Necrosphinx, 3 Tomb Scorpions, all with Ambush and Terrors below. And then rare is exactly the same as Andy's, Necrosphinx and Casket. So it is essentially your Casket is bunkered nearby with that massive poison block and the Great Bow Ushaptis. You've got then either Scorpions on the board or ambushing, depending what you're facing to run interference and threat. You've got obviously Horse Archers for some chaff, and you've got 2 Flying Kitties to offer some counterpunch if things get close to you. And I think it's quite a nice mix of magic options as well.
It's interesting on the 3 different laws. It just gives you everything.
Yeah, that's the thought. Like, I do love Necromancy, and with Casket and the fact you've got a couple of big, fast Terracors and Beasties, like Necromancy could be excellent. But I think when you're taking a big block of shooting and you're taking Bow Shapti, Elementalism is actually the best law. Which I think the combination's quite nice.
Yeah.
And obviously the illusions, just those 2 spells are outrageous.
So otherwise, with Elementalism, with the shooting, you can shoot as much as you want, and then if you've got Wind Blast, just push them away that little bit at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Push them back potentially out of charge or leaving a long charge.
And just getting the 2 key spells from Illusion and being able to cast them as a level 6.
Yeah, that's big. So that's probably the next sort of iteration of Mortuary Cult I'm probably going to try.
Because I looked at it for Mortuary Cult, and what I haven't seen is the Arch Necrotech.
Yeah. I think the issue is...
It's points and where you get them from.
Aye. Points are tight at Mortuary Cult, and I don't think he brings enough that you wouldn't just get another wizard if you were going to go in your character slot.
But making your kitties 4-up regen?
Yeah, I mean, it's got legs. It's got to be in its command range, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So within 8 inches.
Yeah.
And also giving it D3 bonus initiative.
Yeah, it's just further. You build on this. You're just bunkering and doing nothing else.
Yeah. But like I've seen that it's like your old dragon build, but then being followed up by Tomb Swarm. So when he goes in with Illusion and Doppelganger, you've cast him with your level 4 with his thing at plus like 10, which is just ridiculous.
I mean, yeah. So obviously, I've got some of our Mortuary Cult lists. I've got about 4 or 5 that I've got ready to go. One of them has got a Dragon Lore, a High Priest on a Dragon, on Illusion, Lore Familiar, Staff of Eons, or you can go Serpent Staff, like 2 each their own. Talisman of Preservation. It is only toughness 5 Dragon though, and it's very killable.
I think that makes the big difference. The T5.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, the fact that your wizard on a dragon's only toughness 5 is inherently more killable than the Tomb King.
Yeah, you can't just say I'm going to throw it in there and it'll be fine.
Nah, it's got a 4-up, 5-up, 5-up, but still, toughness 5's not that hard to wound.
It's the toughness 5 that is such a massive breakpoint.
Yeah, T6 is the minimum number that you're looking for, really.
Yeah.
But no, there were some interesting lists.
I keep looking at Carrion because I think Carrion are a nice up. 54 points for 2.
Yeah,
a lot of wounds, fly 10, skirmish, swift stride.
I've got 3. I've used them once. They're good. Actually, I really like them.
I think they are solid.
The problem...
And when I look at them, it would be dropping a Scorpion for them. And I get more from a Scorpion.
The problem is they come in special, and so do Scorpions.
Yeah.
If there was an option to make Carrion core somehow, that would be very interesting.
That's the problem when you, especially with your list, and this isn't a criticism by any stretch, but by the time you take your 2 kitties, your casket, your level 4, you're not left with much.
No, points are tight.
No.
With Mortuary Cult, I genuinely think it's a very strong list, or has the capacity to be, but I think it's very tight on points.
I think you almost have to go, if you want Carrion, go with an aggressive list so everything is moving forward. So potentially no casket, and you'd use your casket for other stuff. I think if you're going to go full aggressive with a Lord on a Dragon, a couple of kitties,
if you want
stuff
to
running forward, then yeah.
Aggressive list, you go Grand Army for me.
Yeah.
Grand Army, as it's meant to be played, not with just a massive poison block.
Yes, I mean, what the Grand Army I've taken for the last couple of events is the King build that you were used to stand, a level 4 on a horse, 2 kitties, lots of Scorpions, and we just run. We run hard, we run fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have a casket in. But I think in that list, Carrion have definitely got a role.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
because Carrion stats in general they're a decent unit.
Strength toughness 4, 2 wounds. 2 wounds is because they're 40 points apiece. I think there's 2 wounds is tough. But the flies they can march. Excuse me. So it offers something that a lot of other Tomb King stuff doesn't, because it obviously like, it can march.
Well, it's only 27 points per Carrion.
Yeah, it's only 20. Yeah, so they're not expensive.
Yeah, it's not, but 3 attacks each. For me, it's the fly tame swift stride skirmish.
Yeah.
It's going to get into artillery within 2 turns
it's
easily.
Great to kill an artillery. They're good.
And you're going to have to target them to kill them, or
chaff units as well, because I think they're generally better than a lot of light or chaff.
I just wish the chariots, because for me, the Tomb King chariots are iconic.
I totally agree with you. I wish they had AP. Even
Well,
if
we
they
discussed
didn't-
yesterday, light chariots they just bounce off everything.
Even if they had a rule like ogres have, where they get AP based on the rank bonus.
Yeah,
Even if you gave them kind of like a first charge, but their first charge they have AP, just something to give them that initial, so they can do something.
You know, you take 6 of them and you get AP1,
yeah,
like the bull charge.
Yeah.
aye, something. I'd also like if Prince of Porthas was a bit better to use, because I think the model's lovely.
Still,
He is a
I was
lovely
going to say
model.
he's one of the. He probably gets in my top 10 models.
Like, if he was ethereal, you'd see him.
Yeah.
Like,
Or if he could do some Green Knight like shenanigans of disappearing and reappearing.
yeah. Like, I do wrong. He's 130 points. He's not expensive, but he's T3 with light armor and a 5-up regen. Like, he can die quite easily.
Yeah.
That said, he's
What-
flying 9. I think he's quite cool, and he's a lovely model. So we might see him get used.
One of the versions of my list, I had the emissary of Cetra in.
Oh, neck off.
The gaff, yeah. Just because he's for 120 points, he was
He's
actually
good.
really.
He's good for his points.
When he's in a block of 70 people, and
Just
you're rolling,
70, aye.
yeah, and you're rolling the 3 dice for fear and terror,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and he's killing below on a 5-up.
yeah.
He's not.
He's strength 6, multi wound 2
Yeah,
as well. So he's not
He's
bad.
a good all-round character.
I think what we've got to talk about is the fact that none of us had Cetra. I mean, Anne and I couldn't because we were in a mortuary cult, but Stan, come on.
chariots. I wanted him, but a big poison block is much better than the same points of chariots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 445 points. He's a big boy.
I think if he was available without his chariot, would you see him?
Whoa. Cetra doesn't walk.
I'm a
O'Neill.
palanquin then.
Cetra rides.
But do you think you would see him if he wasn't on his chariot?
Probably more so.
Because this week you have to then stick him in chariots, which are just rubbish.
Yeah,
He
that
can-
you just go by himself like a boy.
He can go by himself.
I mean, just get shot.
I just think you compare him with the
Dragon
Armor of
Lord.
the Ages Dragon Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's more killy, but he's not more survivable.
No, that's the problem. He's got a 4
What's
up, 5 up, 5 up.
He's
Yeah.
toughness 5, isn't he?
He's T5, yeah.
Yeah. 8 wounds. But
Yeah.
Heavy chariot with 2d3 impact hits.
Yeah, and his attacks are strength 6, AP 3. Like, he's genuinely actually pretty good. He's 445 points, and
yeah, the issue is he comes at the same point as that or the dragon, and the dragon gives you more flexibility, more
I think
general
so.
all-round abilities.
Yeah. The question is, at what point would you take Cetra? 350?
After I'd had a stroke.
yeah, the issue is like he's awesome, but he's not awesome enough to actually take, if that makes sense.
No, even if you lower his points up, I can still get something else for that point.
I think even at 350, you would look at him and go,
The problem is it's not just the points of Cetra, it's the points of the stuff you take with him.
Yeah, because you're going to need a decent chariot unit if you want to give him. He's only got 4 up armor, hasn't he?
Yeah, 4 up, 5 up, 5 up. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one because you'd like to see someone like Setra being used, and again, I've seen him used once by Nick.
I mean, it does give these my will be done rule to all units within 6, doesn't it?
Might even be a bigger bubble than that, is it 6?
Yeah, no, it's 6.
Is it 6? I couldn't fit a 6 or his command range.
His command
But
range
even
is
that
18.
doesn't. Then the units you're giving it to are generally skeletons. They're still not punchy.
Yeah.
You then have to run your Tomb Guard, which gets very expensive for units very quickly.
But then to do that, you're sacrificing his movement 8.
That's the thing. It's where do you get?
You could take him in a Grand Army and also take the Dragon Lord with Armor of Ages.
Yeah. But then you're cutting on your level 4.
You don't have a level 4. You just run fast and hard.
Don't you? Well, you'd have to have a level. Your Hierophant would be Cetra?
Cetra.
Oh, that's got disaster written all over it.
Yeah.
There's an iceberg. Let's speed up.
Yeah. That's Titanic waiting to happen on.
I mean, it'd be funny, but it wouldn't go well.
No, it wouldn't. But yeah, so I think Tomb Kings was a nice starting point to talk through it. I think both lists are different. I think like, we looked at obviously the Royals, but I think we can all agree that Mortuary Cult is actually just such an incredible option.
The thing with Mortuary Cult is you're not actually sacrificing anything.
No, you're not being penalised for your extra core because your core bonuses become good units.
The only thing you're sacrificing is option to the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, which is it's not that big of a sacrifice. Considering you can get your kitty and special.
Yeah.
Yes, the fact you can comfortably take 2 kitties. Well, technically you could take 3 kitties.
You could run 3. Not if you didn't need a casket, you just run 3 kitties.
Yeah.
Which is a massive threat.
By probably dropping a character, you could run 3.
That's it. 3 big behemoths with fly for only 585 points or something, 595.
Sub 600 points for 3 flying.
And the bonuses you get in the battery rule is when you compare it with the rules you get in the Royal Host, reroll impact hits.
Yes, just like it's very much you can see who the favourite child was.
Yeah, it's the ones that are loyal to Nagash.
Yeah, screw Cetra. That's why he's on a ship carrier.
We all know Nagash is the true king of Khemri, the rightful king of Nehekara.
So, getting away from the Dusty Boys, the next one will be the
Brett. The
cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
Yeah.
Yes.
We all know it's true.
So between the 3 of us, my prediction is going to be about 20 peg nights.
What, each?
It's just the peg night terror continues. They're just unpleasant things.
They're almost like scorpions. Like they come included in the list. Just.
Yes.
But scorpions, they're a different league.
Oh, yeah, but the one of the auto includes.
Scorpions are incredible. Pegs are incredible. I also, in that bracket, I suppose we'll come on to it another time, I also put Dragon Ogres up there.
Yeah, the champions that are walking around. There are no Dragon Ogres, they're all champions.
I think the units have got legs as well, but I mean, you're not wrong. Everyone just seems to take short hauls and singles.
Yeah.
Is it short hauls or are they the bull centaurs?
Short attacks, I think.
But peg nights are better than all of them.
360,
yeah.
20-inch.
360 is just ridiculous.
And fly 10.
Yeah.
And if you can Vanguard them, you're just laughing.
Aye.
But enough about peg nights. We'll get on to that next week.
Next time. So hopefully,
unless none of us take peg nights.
Format.
I've already got my list. I've got peg nights in there.
going forward, this is going to be something we hopefully do just to sort of give us an excuse to just chat Warhammer in a different way and talk through some of the Arcane Journals.
It'll fill in the time until we get some tournaments booked in next year.
Yes, well, our next tournament, obviously I know you're not attending that one, so Andy and I are off to Scotland, but that's not until February.
Yeah, February the 1st, I think it is.
6th? 1st?
Hang on, I will check it.
Either way,
it is actually in my calendar for once.
Months
the 1st. So we're going up on the 31st of Jan, playing on the 1st.
Fine, so definitely.
And you may find the list we may or may not take on a battle report soon.
Yes. Yeah, that's bad.
Scott wants his mace.
But yeah, so like I say, hopefully the format you enjoy. We'll try to do this kind of format for every Arcane Journal as just to sort of say give us an excuse to talk Warhammer when we're not practicing or preparing or getting ready for a GT. And we'll try to keep them around about kind of this hour mark. So let us know in the comments as ever if this is what you think of it and your thoughts on our lists. If you like the format, if there's anything you'd like to be different, we're still sort of flexing around and finding things. Hopefully the sound comes across all right by the time I export this, and
we'll try and put the lists in the comments.
I will attempt to do that.
I will send you my new updated list then, Scott.
I amended it as we're recording.
Oh, there you go.
So people could see how much you randomly cheat.
I'm playing Tomb Kings. I learned off you. All I'm saying.
Well, with that in mind, we will call that an end. So thank you very much for listening. And everyone out there knows that Andy's the actual cheat.
We'll see you next time. Ignore these two married fishwives.
And we all know that Scott is the oldest man in Warhammer, apparently.
That was really upsetting.
He's older than Warhammer, I heard.
He's older than time. He is a Tomb King.
Yeah. Well, with that, good night. Thank you very much.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.